Boo! Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimmingbird, and welcome back for another Minecraft 1.7 Amplified Survival Story. The sun's going down, I've got my creepy pumpkin on, and we are ready for another spooky story, this time for Halloween. So 1.7 has come out in the meantime. Let me take this pumpkin off. 1.7 has come out since I have done one of these. Oh no, and witches now spawn, so that's something. I'm going to stay away from my house. But I wanted to let you guys know I went and remade the world so that I would get dark oak and acacia and all the other new 1.7 things generating. And I basically just rebuilt my house real quick the way it was and gave myself the items that I have here. I'm going to grab some steak out of this. I'll put some chicken in, but I don't need that. So yeah, we're going to get going here and start another story. I just wanted to let you guys know what I did. So the rest of this world is now freshly generated again. And it is looking beautiful. It seems to run a bit smoother now in the full 1.7. Look at that. It's a crazy view. So yeah, if you haven't watched this series before, this is where I take the story ideas that you guys suggest, and I turn them alchemy-like into legends and tales and things. So tonight's story is suggested by Rage Gamer, and it is more Halloween themed. I'm going to jump on this water and make my way down as we go. As it gets dark, I gotta look out for that zombie. So, today's story suggestion is this one. A ghastly that was punished and sent to the Nether and got all the ghasts sent to the Nether just because of his own behavior. Now, I don't know if he means ghastly the Pokemon, or I'm guessing he means ghasts, like in Minecraft. So we're gonna go with ghasts instead of... Well, I don't want this to be a Pokemon-themed one. But anyways, so yeah, let's start the legend. Now, one of the things you guys might not know about Minecraft is that in days of old, it was similar to Earth in that it had some giant creatures that used to roam the land that we didn't really know about. And one of the things that was there was a giant Kraken. Now, there were tons of them, actually. There were Kraken all over the place, and they were terrifying. A lot of the normal animals and things in Minecraft didn't know what to do. They would stay away from the oceans. The oceans definitely weren't boring in old Minecraft. They had so much going on in them. There were Krakens constantly swimming around, eating stuff. They were at the top of the food chain, to be sure. So you had to be very careful about when you dealt with Krakens. But the leader of them was a giant Kraken named Krankor. Now he had such hubris. He would run around and he would try to eat basically anything that got close to the water. Some of the other Krakens went deep into the oceans and they wouldn't bother animals, but he kind of hung out near the surface because he liked to see what was going on the shore. He was very jealous of people and animals, everything that could go on the shore and walk around. But anyways, the squid were basically the minion of the Kraken, and they used to do bad things, but they've since gone over that and they're more passive. Well, another one of the giant creatures of legend in old Minecraft was the red dragon. Now, the red dragon was very powerful. It was not as large as the ender dragon, but it was on the surface, and it would fly around, and it would light forests on fire, and it was kind of like a natural progression. It would burn out forests that were, that got too big for their time, and they would grow back from the ashes, sort of like a brush fire would in our land. But anyways, the red dragon and the Kraken, they were both very, prideful, and they would fly around and swim around and just terrorize the other creatures. So they had their place in the natural order, but they were kind of jerks. Now, the largest of the red dragon, one who almost rivaled the ender dragon in size, decided that he wanted to eat squid today. So he decided to fly over the oceans, and he taunted Krankor, the leader of the Kraken, and he would call out to him and say, "I challenge you to a fight, a duel of giant epic beasts." He said all this while he was flying, so it was hard to hear. But anyways, Krankor saw him and decided that they would engage in a battle. So he swam up to the surface and he would bat and try to catch him with his tentacles, and both of them wanted to destroy the other so they could claim the top of the food chain in the overworld. But their fight got pretty crazy. Now the red dragon would light Krankor on fire, but he would immediately dunk himself back in the water, so it was just kind of like a balance between the two. But the ender dragon, who lived in the end obviously, would occasionally go to the overworld just to make sure things were going okay. He was the lord of the Minecraft land, and he wanted to make sure that his minions and everyone in the land that he ruled over were not, making trouble. So he saw this, and he was like, "Oh, not in my house." And he flew over, and at this time, Krankor had called for his other brother Kraken, so the red dragon was not doing so good. He had called for the others, and the red dragon called for his brethren. So it was like an epic war of giant creatures fighting each other, and it got pretty crazy in there. So by the time the red dragon got there, or the ender dragon got there, the dragons had kind of messed up a ton of the land. There was tons of forests on fire. There was tons of explosions, and it was just crazy. There was destruction all around, and the Krakens were all wrestling with the red dragons, pulling some of them into the water and stuff. So when the ender dragon got there, the red dragons were like, "Phew, wow, brother, yeah, come help us, man. These you don't know about these Krakens. These are crazy. You're not here. You never, come up to see us that often. But these guys are trouble. Help us destroy them and get rid of them." So the ender dragon popped out, and little known, the ender dragon actually has a fiery breath that he never uses. It's very, at this time, he was like, alright, I guess I better whip out this hidden power of mine that I have. So he used his fiery breath, and he torched all of the Krakens who had come to the surface, because all of them were engaged in the battle. And the red dragons were like, yeah, you helped us, awesome. So all of the Kraken were on fire, and the ender dragon's fire was eternal. It could not be extinguished. So it just kind of torched them. Even though they were in the water, they tried to dive down to get out of the fire, but they couldn't. And then the red dragons, thinking that their friend the ender dragon had helped them, were celebrating. But then the ender dragon was pissed off. He was like, alright, I'm through with this, guys. I didn't come here to help you. I came here to punish both of you. So the ender dragon, whoa, he was right in the midst of everything. He decided that he would use his other power that he seldom uses, his ender breath, a purple smoky substance that he would send out, and it would basically lag the game because it would just hit everything. It would generate new terrain, but it hit all of the red dragons, and then they were gone in an instant. And this was mysterious, and people still don't know where the red dragons went. We don't know if we'll ever see them again, but they were just gone. And the Kraken, who are set on fire, who are eternally burning, that have a ton of health, so they weren't really dying, they were just on fire for a really long time. They were basically boss monsters in terms of health. They also were kind of like, yeah, he helped us, but we're still on fire, so maybe we'll get off a little less because, the red dragon started this whole biz, so maybe we'll be okay. But unfortunately, Ender Dragon used his Ender Breath on the Kraken as well, and they were all teleported away. Now, the Kraken, we actually know where they went. They were teleported to the Nether. This was a realm that the Ender Dragon had created to punish the Pigmen long ago, and that's probably for another story. But he had sent the Pigmen there to punish them, and now the next creatures to go there were the Kraken. And they all went there and burned for eons until they ran out of health. And then, once they did, they died and became spirits. And this is what we now know as the Ghasts. They were originally the Kraken. That's why they're so huge, that's why they have tentacles. But anyways, the Nether now was home to the Pigmen, the zombie Pigmen, and the Ghasts. And there were other creatures that would eventually come to live in the Nether, but those are also other tales. The magma cubes, the blazes, the wither skeletons, those are all different stories. Oh, sweet, a savannah, said the Ender Dragon as he got distracted and he ran off to do other things. He was done with his business, so he left off, and he said, I enjoyed punishing them, but I guess I shouldn't use my flame breath. I shouldn't use my ender breath. It's too powerful, so he decided I'm just not going to use it. Some tell of legends of a different land of Minecraft where, jeez, this guy's too strong. Okay, where that's what they say about the Ender Dragon. They say he's too strong, and he uses an Ender Breath on people who challenge him. But that that might be somewhat it's another world far away from the world that we know of Minecraft here. So anyways, the Ender Dragon resolved never to use his breath powers again, at least for now, until maybe he feels like it later. But those breath powers were so powerful, yes, that we don't know where the Red Dragon are. And the Ghasts as we know it. Now, if you were to go to the Nether, you probably wouldn't recognize the Ghasts as the giant squid that they once were. They have similarities to the Kraken of old, but they're very different now. And the problem is, the Kraken since they're so prideful, they want people to help them. They want to, let us know what's going on. They want us to go kill the Ender Dragon to avenge them. But whenever they try to talk to us, usually they're peaceful. They go around sleeping because they can't open their eyes because the fire hurts their eyes. But when they see us, they try to tell us their story, and the problem is when they open their mouth to tell us, the flame that is burning eternally in their stomach flies out as a fireball and explodes and knocks us, kills a lot of adventurers. So the problem is the Kraken, they don't want to hurt us. That's just how, things are. They had to use, when they open their mouth, they can't help it. So the Kraken, they don't hate players. They're just, pitiful creatures that have haunted the lands of the Nether for a very long time. And that's, I guess, the lesson of this tale, is that some of the coolest monsters in Minecraft that are the ones that actually went around and attacked things, but we're left with the pigs, we're left with all the passive monsters because they did not piss off the Ender Dragon. They did not do anything to make him mad. So the moral of the story is, I guess, if you're gonna do stuff, just make sure the boss man isn't watching, and try not to be a jerk to other people, because they could curse you, make you ghosts, and you'll go to the Nether and you will haunt everyone and attack them. This is a crazy cliff. Look at all this. This is cool. So yeah, I'm going out again, trying to explore new areas. I do have some iron, as you can see. I've got my iron chest plate and I've got an iron sword from last time. I do want to find more iron, so I think the next time we're going to jump into a cave. I really want to find a mine shaft, because I love exploring those. I don't really like digging in Minecraft that much. Like, it's a little mind-numbing to dig around, but I do want to find a mine shaft to try to explore, and maybe there's one in this desert. We'll see. Maybe I can find a temple. I bet the desert temples are crazy in the Amplified world, so we'll see. Yeah, I gotta remember my way back home. I'm pretty far already. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Whoa, let's do this real quick. I know most of the time I'm telling a story when we do these, but I just found this village that is weird, because this is supposed to be a desert village, isn't it? Maybe it's right at the edge, but it doesn't look like the desert village. It's very strange. It's near plains. Sweet. Let's check out the blacksmiths, see what he's got in his little chest here. Diamonds and another iron sword. Awesome, awesome. Alright, let's get rid of some of this stuff. I want to keep these acacia trees though. Sweet, we got 4 diamonds. So this was even if I ran around for most of it, this was a productive episode. So there we go. And carrots and potatoes probably. Let's grab some carrots. Sweet, I'm gonna hang out in this village for a little bit. Thank you guys for watching. Maybe I'll eventually get a horse if I can find a saddle. But thank you guys. I hope you are enjoying the Halloween season. I know that tale was more of a epic battle between giant creatures, but it had a scary, spooky lesson to it. So give me some more suggestions. I might try to do one more of these before Halloween. So post a suggestion for a spooky story idea you want to see. Look at the arrow in my head. That's spooky. Whoa. Anyways, leave a like if you enjoyed this. Thank you guys for watching yet again. And I'll see you guys next time for more Minecraft 1.7 survival story. Goodbye.